This is your introduction to the structure of persuasive essays. This document is provided for you on the website, and it includes, in addition to the structure, it includes an example. So like every essay, your persuasive essay is going to begin with an introduction, and your introduction is going to include a hook, background information, and a thesis. Now, the thesis for a persuasive essay will always be that something should happen. You can rephrase it in another way, like it's essential that something should happen, but this is going to be a should statement. And then from there, the body paragraphs look a little different from essays that we've done in the past. So the first thing that you need to tackle is the scope of the issue. For example, if you want to write a persuasive essay that has to do with child marriage, then this is the paragraph in which you are going to convince me that this is a big problem. You're going to use facts and statistics that show that this is a thing that really happens around the world. Then you're going to divide the next 2 to 3 paragraphs into the arguments in your favor. So let's go with the child marriage essay. Let's say that you're saying that the UN should take some particular action on child marriage. Then you're going to have your first argument in favor is that delaying marriage helps to solve the population problem. And you're going to give me facts and statistics about that. And let's say your second argument in favor of your point is that forcing children to marry is a human rights violation. And you're going to give me some quotation from a famous person about human rights violations, etc. Here's a key thing about persuasive essays is that they must contain a rebuttal paragraph. And let's just go ahead and spell that correctly. A rebuttal paragraph is the paragraph in which you say, now my side of the story is not the only side that exists. You acknowledge that there are other views out there. For example, in the child marriage one, we're going to say the rebuttal paragraph is going to acknowledge that for some people, child marriage is a cultural tradition that's important to them. So you're not pretending that that side of the story doesn't exist. And this is the difference between academic argument and propaganda. You acknowledge the other side. However, in your rebuttal paragraph, in addition to acknowledging the other side, you also want to stay strong on your side. So while I say my opposition says X, I'm going to then add in the next detail, the next support for my rebuttal paragraph is going to say, but X is either wrong or illogical, or it's less important than my side. So I can say, it's true that these are cultural traditions, right? However, the cultural traditions had a very important reason in the past, and that reason doesn't exist anymore. For example, child marriage ensured that that children were not born out of wedlock because people were already married when they got pregnant. And I can say, well, okay, that's true, but it's less important now because we have other ways of preventing pregnancy. The opposition might also suggest why. This is your next point. You're going to acknowledge more than one point on the other side of your topic. But again, you counter with it's either wrong or illogical, or it's true, but it's less important than the things that I've argued. And another paragraph that you may or may not have this paragraph in your persuasive essay. The plan, it depends on what you're arguing. You may or may not need a plan. So you're going to see in the example that I give you about letting children read trashy books, there's no plan for that because it's just encouraging parents to allow children to do something. They don't need a plan to allow that. But some persuasive points are going to need a plan. So for child marriage, I don't want to just argue, hey, child marriage is bad. I need to argue that something should be done about it, right? So the thing that should be done might very well require a plan. Okay, and then your conclusion is like every essay, your conclusion, restates the main points, and it ends with a powerful final thought. Okay, another thing that you need to know about your persuasive structure is that you are going to need a works cited page. Okay, your works cited page, on this one it actually appears on the same page. On yours it should be on its own page, and the title of the works cited page is Works Cited in the center. Okay, I'm gonna give you a lot more details about what to do. This is just, I just want you to remember that this is part of your plan from the beginning. Okay, here is an example of this structure in action. We are, in this example, looking at a persuasive essay that is encouraging our director to buy us some laptops or tablets to use in class. So I have a hook. Have you seen students struggling under the weight of heavy backpacks? Have you heard their parents complaining? We have a background. We have a thesis. Look, we could solve these and many other problems by investing now in portable reading devices for our upper grades. Do you see? This thesis is what we should do. We can solve these problems in this way. And here I've got argument on my side, okay? Proposed plan. I have a rebuttal paragraph, and I have a conclusion. And I'm actually going to turn this particular structure over to you in order to actually write this essay, but this is provided for you on the website.